never know. Is this a needed suicide? I hope my parachute don't let me down. I hope I get the fly. I don't know why I feel like I gotta die to be alive. I don't know why it feel like people are standing still with no desire. Wobbling back and forth, the balance clown. I won't be happy if I'm not moving forward. Then send me down. My vibration for eternity will continue to come around. So I gotta do this right. I gotta live it.
Well, a Saturday afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing today? Lockoutmen back in the building for you guys. Now, first off, I would like to say that I really do appreciate the shout out from other YouTubers showing what Lockoutmen Podcast is all about. Shout out to Monique I can't pronounce the last name, but shout out to Monique from Shipettes showing what they is offering for truckers out here. And shout out to the Trucker Brown. What should I call this? What should I call this show? Should I call it the Burning Mile Show, or should I just call it the Trucker Brown Show? I'm not sure what to call your show, bro. But shout out to you for mentioning my name. I really do appreciate it. It is Lockout Men, MEN. But thank you anyway for that. I really do appreciate it. Well, welcome to the Lockoutmen Podcast show, everybody. This is the place where we park and politic with all our guests today. Today's special guest is, hold on right quick. There he is. Today's special guest is Mr. Steve Green. He is the director of fleet relations for Artur Express.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you for having me, Lockoutmen.
All right. Well, Artur Express, I left a comment in their Facebook group asking them if they would like to come on to the show and share what they have available. They gave the information to Steve here. Steve reached out to me. We had some back and forth, and now we're here today to bring the information out to you guys that might be interested in what they have to offer. Steve, let's start off by getting a little bit of history about yourself, man. 30 years in the game. Where did you when and how did you get into trucking?
Long story short, I've really, this is the only second job I've had. So the first 22 years of my career, I was started out on a night shift, working some docks, unloading planes, spotting trailers at Ford, running parts over to McDonnell Douglas at the time. That's what the name of the company was. We were a cartage company called Red Arrow, mom and pop company. Ended up about 25 stations around the country. Did a lot of cartage out of the airport, and turned into one day the owner was in there about 2 weeks into it and fired some guy, turned around and goes, "You know how to drive a truck?" I go, "I've been driving a truck for you for a couple of weeks, sir." He goes, "Well, be here tomorrow. You got another truck to drive." So I just started driving a truck. This isn't what I thought I was going to do. I just got married. My mother-in-law said, "You got 2 weeks to get a job since I just paid for your wedding." So I said, "Well, I better get to work." So one of my buddies said, "Come on over."
Hold up. Your mother-in-law says that you had to find a job because she paid for the wedding. Ain't the parents supposed to pay for the wedding anyway?
Hey, I'm glad she did it, okay? I needed to get off the couch. I'd been working for a long time since then, but she knew I needed to find that just to support her daughter. So, but I got into the truck, ended up driving the truck for a couple years, ended up owning up to 5 trucks, put my 1,000,000 miles in over 10, 11 years, and company was sold, but I was still with the same company, and they were like, "Listen, we don't want you on the road anymore. We need you in here working with the drivers. You get people to do things." So I said, okay. So I came in, was a dispatcher, dispatch manager, operation manager, great teachers over the time. They were tough and hard on me, but the owners of the company always, included me in how to be a better manager, work through things. So I've really, everybody that I worked for has been a truck driver, and then they've become running that company. Even John Sutherland, he owned Red Arrow, but his dad started. John had to drive a truck first, so kind of my principle. I've driven a truck, but I see the need for somebody that's driven a truck to be able to get that operation side to do a better job. Plus, to get the trucker to do a better job, have a little more respect for themselves. But like I said, 22 years doing it all. About 9 years ago, the place was sold again to a bigger company, and then another bigger company. And I just seen the writing on the wall. We went from a trucking company that works for truckers to a transportation company that works for customers. And I said, I want to work for the truck driver. We are the commodity. We're not, we're not the commodity. We're the asset here. So I found Arthur. We had done some business with him with the company I was working for before, and I knew they were good guys. They were young. Arthur started it when he was 21 years ago. His dad was driving. Arthur's dad still drives here today, 150,000 miles. So it's really everywhere I've been in this business, the people above me are truck drivers and they understand it. So that's what I bring to Artur Express. I bring the relationship of a truck driver to the office to let people understand what it's like to be out on the road. And I get in trouble for this, and I will get in trouble again for it. But I tell every driver when they walk in the building, I'm the only person in any company, trucking company in the world that tells you I'm 51% on your side. Unless you're not safety. If you're anti-safety, then I don't need you at all. But I will fight for every one of my drivers to the point to where the owners appreciate it. But sometimes they say, you got to stand down. I'm like, I can't. I'm fighting for my truckers. So that's who I am. I really am the guy to make sure my title, Director of Fleet Relations, keeps them on time, keeps them motivated. I just understand what it is. And I also understand the respect factor that a truck driver wants, but I also understand that sometimes at Artur Express, you walk in, I tell you, you show us respect, we'll flood you with hugs of respect. So that's kind of what we do.
All right. Now look, I'm sitting here marinating on that beard of yours, man.
Yeah, I'm not in too many of the executive bank meetings with me. I'm more the truck meeting guy.
I got a special friend that does beard products. I would like to bring him well, not him, but I would like to bring the page on so that if you're interested in any beard products, definitely I'll send him a shout out. This is hold on right quick.
Absolutely.
This is him right here. Oh. The name of the company is called Bearded Giant.
Giants. Nice.
He has an assortment of beard products for you. He has the soap, the moisturizer, the spray. So if
wax, I see it. Oh, this takes a little bit to get right. This doesn't just happen overnight. I tell people.
I got you. So if you're interested, his IG, this is Brian. That's the owner of the company right there. His IG is Bearded Giants, and his website is beardedgiants.com. So if you're internet, my son must
definitely
be internet. So there we go. Little slow over here, but it's coming. But this is the website where you can order the products from. He got beard oil, beard balm, different vanilla, peppermint, beard conditioner, beard wash. And by the way, to let you know, Steve, this is all handmade. This is not this is all constructed out of his kitchen. Can you believe it? So
hey, everything's got to start in the beginning somewhere. Good for him and good for you. Yeah, definitely. I'm writing it down.
So definitely, if you are interested in some beard products, there you have it. Because like I said, the beard, man, you're looking. I mean, it's woo. Somebody,
I like yours too. You just got to scratch it more. You scratch it, it'll grow. That's how it grows. You got to scratch it.
I haven't got a chance to get to the barbershop yet, but it'll be trimmed very soon.
Very nice. Very nice.
Welcome everybody to the Lockoutmen Podcast Show. TJ Jones the Bull says, "What's up?" D Nitty says, "Yo." Nate Green says, "What a beard, Steve."
That's one of my beautiful sons probably trolling me.
Yeah, he says, what a beard. Nate Green also says a Shure mic. Yes, it is. It is the Shure SM7B. Thank you very much for
He's
that.
a gamer. He's a gamer. He does that Twitch stuff, so he's all about this.
My son's a gamer as well, so he has my old mic. I picked this one up and I just went on here and gave him my old mic. TJ Jones the Bull says, good for you, sir. All right, so let's get into Arthur and what you guys got to offer, man. Artur Express, you said 20 years. The young man was in his 20s when he started the company.
Yep. Him and his partner Tomic, they both were. They ran a car service, not ran it, but they worked at a 600 fleet car service up in New York, and so transportation was kind of in their blood. And then Arthur's dad was a driver already, and his dad kind of said, "I need you to book me a load, call a guy," and something turned into a couple broker loads, and then Arthur bought a truck or two, and him and Tom got things going on. They moved to St. Louis. I think it was in around 2000. This company started in 98, so about 99, I guess they were here. And then the next thing you know, they've been in 3 different buildings. We're in a 75,000 square foot facility right now. We've got 12 bays. We have our own in-house shop for all of our trucks. Building's beautiful. Downstairs, full weight room, kitchens, multiple showers. Once again, just so people understand, Artur Express, we're a trucking company run by truckers, and that's our motto. Our hashtag motto is Artur Express, the truckers company. That's trademarked. I mean, you look up the truckers company in Google, it's us. Nobody says that. Now, I mean, we truly are that company.
Now, I see a lot of you. I see a lot of you guys. Now, I'm about to play devil's advocate because that's what I do.
I'm good.
Now, you guys are located in Missouri, right?
Yep, right there outside of St. Louis.
Okay, because a lot of I talked to a couple of drivers, and again we see the big tagline on the side of the truck, but we see majority of your trucks up in the Illinois area, so that's where some of the drivers like, oh man, this is another Black Ops company. That's far from the truth, though, right?
What is it? What would they say we are?
Black Ops company meaning a foreign company.
Oh, these are Americans. We're all from somewhere, but these guys are, we're all Americans. But I can tell you this: we have 30 different spoken languages in our company. Ooh. We have 30 different nationalities. So when you walk into our building, it's Artur Nation. It's not white, black, brown, Mexican, Hindu, Chinese, Ugandan, Bosnian. I mean, we have them all. And they come in this building. We can all sit down and break bread with each other because we all pull Artur trailers. So I get that, but it's not one of those type of companies. We're all here in town. Everybody is in the building. It's not one of those. We're not being run from across the ocean.
All right. TJ Jones, the bull in the building. He says we need more management for drivers, understanding that we are an asset and not a number. What do you guys think about that?
Absolutely, we do, and that's that comes from the top down. I mean, if it's not all about the money for the people sitting in the chairs, it's all about us all making more money for the people behind the wheel. And if we do that, then the whole day gets better. I tell people all the time, at 4 o'clock when you're running out the door, there's drivers going to be on the road for another 4 hours, 4 days, 4 weeks. Not our drivers, because we don't need road warriors, but it's truly a respect thing. And we started from the second they walk in the door, they meet our vice president for orientation. I'm in through orientation. Every single person in orientation is the manager or director of that department. And that's the person, if they have a problem, they're going to talk to. And we have a very short road for fixing problems. And most people don't have this. Your dispatcher is your best friend. Dispatch manager needs to fix all issues, and if not, they come to me, Steve Green.
All right.
And that's my commitment to make sure a driver knows this is no joke. We don't wait days for problems. We fix them that day.
That's what's up. Hey, and you rarely have a person of your stature being behind the drivers. I mean, they're more so concerned with the load and and the client themselves than a company that's concerned for the drivers and make sure that the driver is all right.
30 million customers and only 3 million truckers.
Woo.
We know who's important.
TJ Jones, the bull, he says, good market, St. Louis. I pull out of Edwardsville weekly.
Procter and Gamble, baby. I know the loads.
All right. So Steve, when I call up to your company, I from the time I call up to your company and until the time I get in the truck, how long's the process going to take?
That's a funny question. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. We have some drivers booked out for the next 2 weeks to be here because they're working some. They're going to give 2 weeks because we're not the kind of company that says drop on them and come here right now because we don't want those type of drivers. And then we do have drivers that are in the bad way that says on a Thursday, hey, I heard about you guys. What do you got? We set something up. I run their background check. Friday, everything's good. And he really, truly is in a bad way. I can put him in the building on Monday. So you're talking 2 days, 3 days we can have you. We do orientation every Monday and every Wednesday. And we handle all travel.
All right. So coming into orientation after I get off the phone with you, well, I'm on the phone with you still. What are you looking for as far as me being on the phone with you? Like what you telling me what you're looking for as far as making sure that I'm a good candidate for Artur Express?
First thing we ask for, is your experience. We're looking for at least, 18 months of experience. And then we look for your driving record. We know everybody's got a couple dings, couple bruises, and some people are perfect. Some people tell you they're perfect, and they got a couple dings and bruises. So, you get through that. But really, my conversation is, what do I need to do for your experience in trucking to be better? How long do you want to be on the road? Most guys, if I ask them that, they go, well, I'm out 4 weeks now with my company. I'm like, well, that's crazy. They're abusing you. If you want to stay out 4 weeks, we'll let you roll with our truck that long. But we like to be out every other restart at home. We want you to get your family time. We pay very well. We're in the top percent people of pay. So we want you to go home and spend that money so you get back on the road fresh, get back out, make more money of it. So I'm not really digging in super deep. We want to find out what caused maybe why you left the other place. What were some issues? I love them, but you guys are 15 cents more per mile. Okay, great. What they do there, awesome. Things of that nature. We're trying to learn. Like I tell everyone, every day we can be better than we were yesterday for the drivers. There's something small. Doesn't have to be leaps and bounds, but just something that shows them today we're going to do it better than we did yesterday and care about it. That's a big thing. And also don't get me wrong, just on the other side of this fence, we're some crabby truck drivers sometimes. We get rowdy, we get loud, we get pissy on the phone with our dispatchers. And you know what? They don't need to have that. But a good dispatcher understands that, as I tell every driver, you can call me and talk to me about anything because maybe your wife's cheating on you, your dog died, grandma died. You know what? I never had anybody to talk to. I'm driving down the road with a wheel bent. But we want to be those people. I am that person. I have at least 1 or 2 calls a day that's just a personal call where a big old burly truck driver is probably crying on the phone about some personal issue. Right. And you know what? He's taking it out on his dispatcher. I call him, I go, what are you doing just now? Oh, man, it's my house and this. I said, okay, well, we'll talk about that, but then you apologize your dispatcher later.
Right. That's what's up,
so
man.
It's we all know what it is. It's driving a truck down the road. What kind of equipment do you have? How do you take care of your equipment? How do you handle if I get detention? How do you handle a breakdown? If you're one of my company drivers, you break down within 4 to 6 hours, we're going to put you in a loaner truck to keep moving. Sure, a loaner truck's not always the best option, but a loaner truck's much better than sitting at the Roach Motel for 3 days while Freightliner doesn't fix your truck.
All right, TJ Jones, I see all your questions, and I will get it. I will get it in. Let me ask one more question, and then after that, I will focus on your questions to Steve. We have Steve Green, the director. What am I pronouncing it right?
Director of Fleet Relations.
The director of Fleet Relations of Artur Express out of Missouri. Now we know what can get us qualified. What can get us disqualified?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the day of the day. Hey, DWI, any of those things in the last 5 years is pretty much a no. Um, we have kind of a few set standards of, certain speeding tickets, certain incidents, accidents. You got a rollover, probably not going to be looking at that. But we also are the best second chance trucking company there is. We're willing to take a guy with a 15 over, maybe, as long as he doesn't have an incident or an accident, but maybe he doesn't have any speedings, but he's got 3 backings. You know what? We bring him in first day on road test. If we got somebody that maybe is right there, got everything good, been working, only had 2 jobs in the last 10, 12 years, no tackets, but he's got 2 backing incidents. Well, we call him up. I have a real live conversation with him. I flat out ask him, can you back up? Yes, I can. And so when you get here, before you even come in the room, I'm going to send you on a road test and do some backing. If your backing works up, then you know what? We shouldn't have any more backing incidents. So I don't want to say there's really anything that's going to just DQ you, because there's the major ones, but I also don't want to say that we're looking to DQ drivers. I'm looking for every reason to keep a driver. We have 4 people that can improve drivers, and we got a 3-person group, me, safety director, and a compliance person, that are the only ones that can DQ a driver. Let me tell you, 80% of the people that go in that review bucket, we approve, but we also approve them with some stipulations, maybe a little probation. The inside facing camera becomes a real big topic all of a sudden on certain things. Yeah. So there's many solutions to not just say, oh, you're a bad driver, thank you. There's 75,000 less drivers today than there was 18 months ago. So why are we going to look to DQ drivers? Once again, it's not you got to open the front door to let them all come in, and you better be holding the back door so they don't leave.
All right. If you guys have any questions for Steve Green, make sure you get it in the chat, in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Maybe about 13, 14 of you guys is here this morning. Make sure you guys share this out, because this might be some information that somebody might be looking. And Steve did just mention that they are a second chance company. So a lot of you guys that do have, skirmishes on your report, maybe they might give you that second chance that you need. Question from TJ Jones, the Bull. He would like to know, he says, does Artur Express have 24/7, 365-day dispatch support and not some skeleton crew during the weekends from 7 to 11?
Well, we do not have 106 people in the building Friday night till Monday morning. We have 7 or 8. So we do have people in the building, but we have multiple people monitoring the phone. So I don't want to lie and say we've got 50 people in the building over the weekend, or on after hours, as we call it. We have other people on the phones and taking calls. Once again, you can do a lot of this stuff remote, so you don't have to be in the building. But I can tell you that we have a very, very good after hours crew. But one of those also issues are, you shouldn't have many after hour issues if you take care of your business during the day. So, but to answer his question, it's not a skeleton crew, but I would say it's definitely not the full day crew. So the company can't have 100 people 24/7 in the building, but we do have no less than 10.
Exactly. They need some work. I mean, not work, but they need some rest. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you got to have after hours people. I mean, when I came here 9 years ago, we only worked up until 2 in the morning, and then the phones were handled by a service. And if it was emergency, then somebody'd be on call. But I was like, we got to be 24/7, and we've gotten much better with it.
I got you. All right, TJ Jones again. He says, what are your hiring areas?
Hiring areas. Pretty much Texas to the East Coast, Iowa to the Gulf Coast. That's our big major run. But we get drivers from California. If you want to run reefer, we'll take you from any state. But that's kind of our zone in that area. ArturExpress.com, our website shows all of our hiring lanes, shows all of our running lanes, and shows all the pay plans. Our website, we just did a brand new website, so I'm not gonna push it super hard, but definitely make sure you check out the website. It's got some great. You don't have to ask all the questions. We're answering them right there for you. Taking out the shadows, as I say.
We're definitely going to look at that website, because you guys' website is one of the best websites that I've seen in a while. Let's see. TJ Jones again. He says, are you all company drivers, and is it forced dispatch?
Actually, we are a very unique company. We have company drivers. Depends on where you want to run, what you want to do. I don't want to call it forced dispatch, but you don't get to pick your loads. But you can tell me, hey, I want to run Texas, Missouri, Georgia. I don't want to go to Ohio. Sure, but that's all before we put you in a truck. That's all on that phone conversation. So that's kind of the things we say. Now, if you say, hey, listen, I don't want to go to New Jersey ever, well, I'm not going to force you to go to New Jersey. I'm going to say, okay, here's our lanes, here's the miles, here's what that pays. Is that a doable run for you? Yes, perfect. Now we move on. But we also have owner operators. They own the truck. They use my numbers, pull my trailers. We also have independent contractors. Bring your own authority, bring your own truck, bring your own driver, and we keep them busy. So out of 700 trucks, about 400 company drivers and 300 contractors, and about half and half OOs and ICs.
Okay. So diverse, pretty diverse over there. Let's see. TJ Jones again. He says, does Arthur take the current med card? In other words, when we come on with you guys, do we gotta take another physical?
As long as it's not, I think we got 60 days right now is what we did. We said as long as it's good within 60 days, we let it slide. We're not looking we understand that. You don't want to get it, if you make a move, you don't want to get it too early.
All right, TJ Jones, thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate it. And keep the questions coming. Let's see. Evasion Clarity. If I'm pronouncing your name right, I hope so, because I beat up names like crazy. She says, this sounds like a great company. How many females do you employ?
I think we're around 11-12% female drivers, and we have a lot of single drivers too. They're not all just the wives in the truck of a team. We have some powerhouse female drivers. We're in Womenintrucking. Like I said, vice president of the company. I think 6 or 7 out of the 10 departments have female leads in it. And I'm a yes man guy, so I work well there.
All right. So during orientation, what are we? How long is orientation, and what all orientation entails? And the big question is: orientation paid for?
All right. Well, we'll get to that part at the end. So since you asked it last, yes, orientation's 2-day orientation. Once again, we pay to get you here. We get you here the day early, put you up in a nice hotel, and it's a nice hotel, not a motel. Very nice place. Every driver comes in and goes, wow, I've never stayed at a hotel like that for a trucking job. So we really make sure they come in and get that right feeling right out the gate. So you come in Monday, Tuesday, that's one orientation, and then we would have a Wednesday, Thursday, same ordeal. Come in, you start around 7:30 on day one, you're done around 3:30, and then you come in on day two. Day two, we start probably around 8, and then you're done. I come in at 2 o'clock because I'm the last person they see for orientation because I do the pay. I go in after you've learned the safety, after you've listened to everything, then let's talk about your pay. The last thing you're going to remember is the last thing we talk about. So I said, I want to be that last person so we can drill in how they make the most money at Artur Express. So it's a 2-day orientation. They get the safety training. They get how to do inspections, a lot of just overview, but it's a little bit different. A lot of drivers go, oh, I know all this crap. And then the next, at the end of the day, go, so how was it? They go, wow, it was something different. I said, exactly, because we're a different company. Okay. But it's 2 days. And for that 2 days, we take care of the lunch. Like I said, the hotel does have some kind of a meal in the evening, but we always say be prepared for dinner. We pay $150 for orientation on your first check. So the following Friday, it's Monday through Sunday work week. That following Friday you're paid, and you're paid every week.
How's everything? How's everything concerning orientation revolves around the new COVID situation now?
We have plenty of protocols. Like I said, our vice president, Christy Randall, she has kept us safe as a company. No major breakouts. We have a room that'll fit 30, and the most we can put in the room is 10. So like I think we were going to have like 10 or 11 this Monday for orientation, and we were going to have to use our backup secondary room. And we've done that a few times just when we get an overflow of class. But can't wait till COVID's over, because the owners got a bet that I can't bring 25 people in one orientation class, and I'm working on it. Let me tell you.
Well, COVID, I really don't think COVID is going to be over. As a matter of fact, I got my COVID shot today, everybody. Okay, we didn't need no clap for that. But anyway.
They already had it and got the shot, so I'm double good.
Oh my God. You had whoa, Steve. Wait a minute. How did you get it? What happened?
Well, I don't know how I got it. All I know is like on a Wednesday, I'm sniffing and I'm smelling Lysol. I'm like, man, somebody clean it extra. Next thing you know, Thursday a little more. Friday I couldn't smell anything. So I said, yep, there's a problem. So went and got tested, had it, didn't have taste for about a week, or didn't have a smell for about a week, and for about 4 days, light, no real fever, but boy, I was just tired and just kind of achy. It was one of those things where I was working from home, and then about 2 o'clock every day, I just have to go lay on the bed, not to sleep because I couldn't sleep. It was just like my body said, no, you need to lay down. I'm like, well, I'm sitting up, and my body's like, no, we want you to lay down. So that was about it. But then after that, no problems. We got the shot a few months back. Everything was fine with me. My wife got the shot day one. She was good. Second day, she was a little couple little fever, and then the next day a little little fever. So the third day, fine. So like I said, it affects everybody differently. Some people get it, some people shoot. She stayed with me the whole time I had COVID. She didn't even get it. She tried to get it, and we even had her tested. So there's no rhyme or reason on this. But once again, though, if we can get them government numbers to where they need to be, we can all start living again.
Wow. How did COVID affect Arthur as a company last year?
Oh, it really punched us right in the face. I mean, that might not be what they want me to say, but we opened our building last April 1st. We moved in our building in March and April of last year. So I mean, here it is. It's coming like a train. We don't know what's going on. We're moving into a brand new building. I mean, we had so much banner and fanfare coming for this new building. I mean, it's a mega operation now. I mean, we can park 350 trucks and trailers in our parking lot. So I mean, it's a big facility. And we just had to shut it down. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't have vendors in. Everybody's having to stay apart. We're very big on teams and pods. So now all of a sudden you're stretching everybody out around the building even more. Tons of hand cleaner. Everybody's wearing a mask. Looks like bank robbery. So it's we followed all the CDC, and like I said, Chrissy Randa really made us stay on our toes. You couldn't turn around without a mask station or a hand washing station. So it was good.
How do you feel? Well, let me ask you this: Have any of your drivers expressed concerns about going to shippers and receivers and being treated some kind of way? Like now it just seems that these shippers and receivers just using this COVID as a clutch now for not having a lot of like for drivers to use their bathrooms, or for drivers to come into their buildings, or just I don't know, I just treating drivers some kind of way. Have you had any of your drivers express concern about that?
Yes, come on. I mean, before COVID, we had that problem. I mean, we're treated like we're strangers. We're treated like we're um, you know kidnap people. I don't know. COVID just gave them one more reason just to be disrespectful. But once again, I mean, that starts from the fact that there's nobody that's been driving a truck that's never gone into a facility, and somebody looks at you, looks at their paperwork, goes, "Great, you just brought me more work." You know what I'm saying? So that attitude is just no matter what, and especially when you get a security guard that thinks they're protecting Fort Knox for something, and all those things. But once again, truck drivers are crabby, and sometimes we need to just suck it up and get through the moment. But it's definitely not fair. Now let me tell you what we do at Artur Express, though, COVID or not, no matter what it is, the I do a weekly call. It's a fleet call with all the drivers, company drivers at one time, contractors at another. And one of my topics on that is tell me how we are doing at customers, because I'm going to tell you how you're doing at customers. And I get, hey, these people won't let us use the bathroom. Hey, these people lock me in the truck, or they do this. So we go back to our clients, we go back to our customers and say, hey, this isn't really how, we want our drivers treated. We don't understand it. So we don't just tell drivers, well, that's the customer. We'll just have to live with it. We try to work with them and see if there's something going on. Now a driver calls me screaming and hollering. Well, he probably was part of the problem. But a driver calls and goes, hey, I've been here for 3 hours. I got to go to the bathroom. They won't let me use their bathroom, and I can't leave the lot. Okay, well, don't go under the trailer, please, and let me make the call.
all in the wild.
You know what? Hey, but once again, you force a truck driver to be an animal, he's going to be an animal. So we don't want that.
I just, you know what? I just did a quick video, maybe about 2 weeks ago, and I just said that I asked the gentleman. Actually, it was nobody. It was a huge warehouse, nobody in there, and I asked the young man. I was like, "Yo, man, may I use the restroom?" And he was like, "Of course." Well, the one guy said, "Yeah," but then when I went down there to the office to use it, the other guy in the office was like, "No, we can't have drivers in here because of COVID." And I was like, Okay. So I go outside, or I asked him, I was like, well, there's no porta potties outside. So what are we supposed to do? And he literally ain't had no answer for me on that. And I go outside and I look around and I make my quick, rant video just by saying, hey, they won't let us use the restroom. What do you expect us to do? Go over in the forest and use it over there? I said, I guess so. I guess that's what I have to do, even though I didn't do it. But yeah, like you said, it's just COVID is just another thing in their arsenal that they can use to I don't want to say disrespect the truck driver, but just feel some kind of way about the truck driver
or not give them respect, period. I mean, it's not even at the level of disrespect, it's just no respect.
Exactly.
It's once again, hey, you're driving down the road, you don't have a place to park. Well, yeah, I need to park. I'm delivering the goods that supply this country. Give me a better parking spot. All that stuff. Once again, we move the world. So you feel my venom and you feel my passion sometimes when it comes to that, because I remember a time I went into a customer and the guy literally told me, he goes, you know what, dude? He goes, I'm going on break. He goes, I'll unload you when I get done. And I remember this to the day. And I go, yeah. And you know what he told me? 15 minutes went by. I went back over to him. I said, hey, 15-minute break. I noticed you're putting your coat on. And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm taking a half day today. I go, okay, so who's going to, I go, who's going to unload me? He goes, I don't give a crap. And he just left me. And that was one of my first experience where I realized that, you know what? These people don't want they don't want me bringing this freight to them, but their boss does. So instead of me being crazy, I just called up my boss. And that's when I learned that, you know what? Call up somebody else's boss in that moment. Don't call up the guard check. Don't call up the shipping clerk. Call up the plant manager and explain to them, we're trying to come there, give you your product on time, be a good, a delivery company, but this is how your people are going to be treated. You know what? Next time I went in there, I got unloaded first every time I walked in the door.
You know what? The company, I did speak, I did a show with a company called CLE Transportation out of Huron, Ohio. Definitely check that out. Their dispatchers there are on point with their drivers. And what I mean by that, if you get to a shipper, 9 times out of 10, it's a shipper, because if we already have the product, we're going to have to get unloaded anyway. But when we get to the shipper and the shipper say, hey, it's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour to 2 hours or something like that, their dispatchers is on the phone with the shippers and they talking to them like, hey, our driver is still in the door. What's going on? And if for whatever reason, if it's, if the dispatchers there feels that, they getting, D'd around, they'll call their drivers up and tell them to leave. Like, yo, we good on this. Thank you. Go ahead and go and we'll get you set up with another load. And when the recruiter told me that, I was surprised, because I've been with companies that, I've been with companies that hit, when I get there and I let them know and they come back and tell me, no problem, we got to give them 2 hours anyway. All right, 2 hours go past, 3 hours go past. I call them back up. Oh, okay, well, we'll see what's up. 3 hours go past, 6 hours go past, and all of a sudden you there all day, and it's like, wow. So, companies like yours and CLE Transportation that looks out for the drivers, yeah, we need to find companies like that.
So, well, we're pushing it every day.
All right. Let's see. Collins. If I'm not, let me see. Colin one. He says, "Good company. I work there, or I work for them. Only downside was had to go around the tolls, but would work for them any day. Great equipment, but they also have a sliding scale on pay.
Yeah,
They
he
work.
he he probably worked here a little bit in the past. We did have a sliding scale based on the length of the trip. We have eliminated that now. It's just a flat. We just raised the rate, made it a flat rate for any length. And the toll thing is, we only get paid so much per load per customer, and tolls are built into those rates. Some guys want to drive that 1,000 miles with no toll, make $1,000. Some guys want to drive that 1,000 mile toll with no toll, but that's all part of the game. And we did give them a few, a routing of rounds, but they were, not. It's not always the funnest thing to do, but we have 90% drop and hook, so we keep the trucks moving. So, but I do understand his concern, and we're always working through that as well. But we have 400 trucks on the road, so I always tell people, any pain you're feeling, I'm lessening the pain on my company side and trying to make it less for everybody, because that's why you have company trucks. Everything we do that saves money or can make our drivers more, we pass it on to the fleet, the owner, operators, and IC says, hey, this is how we're doing it. This is how we're saving pennies. You should try that as well.
All right. So with the sliding scale, you guys did change that. But let me ask you something about the tolls, because I used to work for a company that don't want us to take tolls at all. Do you guys now when you guys route? See, my problem with them was when they routed the tolls. So say like for example, it's like 1,000 miles with the tolls, but they want us to go but and I'm just throwing numbers out there. They want us to go about 1,200 miles around the tolls, and we're not getting credit for for them 200 miles.
For an independent, for a contractor and those guys, well, first of all, we only really have one or two tolls, and it's up there up on 80 coming
Right.
out of Pennsylvania. So we got two of them, and it's a total of about 40 miles total on the tolls to go around. Our
Okay.
company drivers, we pay them to go around them.
Oh, okay.
The ICs, OOs, the route's the route, the pay is the pay, but if they want to go around it, we show them that, hey, you could save $150 going 30, 40 miles out of the way. So,
Okay.
but we pay for that for our company drivers. We're not asking any mile they're running, we want to pay them.
Your Nate Green says, how Arthur have a family dental plan? My wisdom teeth is killing me, pops. So what are y'all what are the benefits that you guys offer for the drivers?
For our company drivers, we have full health insurance, full family, full medical. We have life insurance. We have a great 401k, instant. You can participate. We have 2% matching. Um, um, Great trucks, great equipment. Like I said, great building. But in the scheme of things, it's we're just trying to give drivers a better experience in trucking. Once again, we know the business and people aren't getting younger, so our things, like I said, we have the insurance. Um, Everything's accessible to our drivers. We have everything on websites. They see it. You know how you were talking about the detention earlier. We haven't. We're at the moment now to where when our drivers get to a location, they're pinging the trailer. The truck pings, and as soon as the driver presses "I'm here," it sends it to the customer, and we start our clock then. We tell customers all the time that we're not going to keep arguing with you about you not unloading my truck. We're just going to prove it to you with the web by saying truck arrived, truck left 3 hours later. I need my $30, my $50, my $100 of detention. And one other thing, you had said something earlier, and I never had talked to you about this, but you had said recruiters. When like I said, I've been here for 9 years. I've been doing this spot on the driver relations side, and it was the recruiting department. And people still call it the recruiting department, but we like to call it career advising. I don't have recruiters. We have career advisors. I always say recruiters send people to war. I just want people to go to work, and we're offering people $60,000 to $100,000 a year driving a truck at Artur Express. Those are career advisors, because when these guys are a local driver for a while and they want to say, hey, heard you got a leasing program, they talk to us. They want us to explain it to them. They want to know how that money can be made. I've had contractors with 20 trucks say, hey, Steve, I'm done. I'm about to retire. I want to sell my trucks. I want to be a company driver for 3 years. We let him, he sells his trucks to somebody and he becomes a company driver. So I've built up guys with one truck all the way up to 50 trucks before with a fleet.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Steve, what we there is lots to talk about, and we're gonna definitely touch on all of them. What about, once the drivers come in and they're driving for you guys, they're making money and everything. Let's talk about the money that they will be making. So what's the starting, and does the pay varies between experience?
Really, that's not an experience. What we have is what we call as a performance-based pay plan. It's based on a few factors of, obviously your experience. It's a point system. X amount of years of experience, you get X amount of points based on doing a few of the standard 7 different things of safety, being on time, scanning your paperwork, doing good trailer inspections throughout that time. I'll just give you an example. Right now, if you bring me a driver 2 years, 20 years, we want to see in the first quarter what we call 10 to 12 weeks once you walk through the door. If you want to do the job that we're asking you to do, then we'll pay you the most money possible. We have a paid plan. We'll just use the central region. You come in as a professional driver, you make 60 cents per mile. After that 10 to 12 weeks, you show that I'm going to be on time. I'm going to do my inspections. I'm going to do all the things that I need to do to be an expert level driver. That driver then makes 65 cents. And the company, instead of always throwing out, little money here, little money there, what we did is we added what we call a market adjustment. As the market goes up, we're going to take and keep adding to that. Now the market crashes, I don't want to have to take away from people's standard base pay. We want to just maybe have to take a penny here, penny there. But every month we have raised our pay plans in the last 6 months. Every month they've gone up. It's killing me because I got to update them all the time. So, but I love the drivers, and we don't, last week, drivers started, and 2 weeks later, they already had a 3-cent raise. So, like I said, a central region driver can come in at 60 cents, get up to 65. If you work in the East, it's 65 up to 70 cents.
And this is all within the first year.
That's the first year. That's how we do it. We pay the most money possible we can out the gate because we don't want to lose drivers, and we don't want to mess around with making them, have all kinds of crazy steps to get through. We just want to say, hey, if we can afford 60 cents, let's pay them 60. If they do a great job, that means we can afford 65 cents because they're going to save us in time, efficiencies, and wear and tear on the truck and customer service problems.
Now, Steve, I'm about to go to TJ Jones right quick. He says, so 10 years experience, clean MVR, and want to run reefer in the Western region. Your expert driver scales put me at 20 to 30 points to start, hypothetically. What is that pay per mile?
First of all, he's looking at the chart with the pay performance, but don't use those numbers, the points and all. We start every driver out the gate at a professional. Okay, so a reefer driver in his situation, if he was running solo reefer, only problem is we wouldn't run Western only out there. So I don't want to give you a hypothetical. I want to be honest. If you call me up and say, hey, I don't want anyone in the Western region reefer, we not going to just keep them. Reefers run coast to coast. They got to stay out at least 2 to 3 weeks. They make great money, and we keep them moving. But in this case here, if he said, Steve, I just want to run a reefer solo over the road, well, he would come in at 65 cents as a professional and then get to 68 cents pulling the reefer. And then over the road driver or a Western region driver would be 63 cents to 67. So the reefer's paying about 2 cents more than the over the road.
Okay. You know what? I just clicked on here and I see what he was talking about. All right. So Steve, you said before we got in here, you said that you guys have a offer for lease drivers. I'm about to give you the floor so you can let the guys let the guys know what you have to offer for lease drivers.
All right. Let me open this up here. I just want to make sure I got all this info out. Right now, we are offering a no risk walk away lease. You don't have to have credit. You don't have to have a down payment. As long as you're a qualified driver through me, you can get into a lease truck. Basically, the lease trucks are 2019 or newer. They come with something that's not really heard of in the industry, but it is a pay per mile loaded, and the deductions are per loaded mile. So if you go on vacation for a week or you have a little bit, you need to take off a couple days, we're not still sitting there deducting from you. You should never have a negative settlement that way. It opens up the opportunities for every driver to just make money every week and not have any issues. It's a great program. We are pushing it. Some of the company drivers are moving over to it at this time. The basically you will not own the truck, but it takes all of your deductions. It takes all of your revenue. At the end of the day, it gives you an exact penny per mile, and it says 75 to 95 cents per mile is your money. So if you run 10,000 miles a month and use a round number and you're making 85 cents a mile, that's $8,500 a month for you to get as a 1099 settlement. So it puts them in 2019s or newer Freightliners. The per mile on the truck itself is how we pay. So you don't even there is no monthly fee. It's just basically based on the per mile that you're going to drive. We have a lease calculator inside of our website, and it's to the penny. I mean, the calculator. I've got a few people saying they've never seen something like this. It allows you to pick if you want to be a van operator or a reefer driver. You want to be over the road. You want to be central, east, or what you want to be. If I take a van driver, he's central. He's going to do 12,000 miles a month. I put him in a 2019. I hit calculate. It literally tracks the truck payment at 29 cents, goes through physical damage, liability, all of your deductions. They show you a fixed cost of 66 cents. Then they figure with fuel and IFTA around 41. That gives you a total of $1.07 on your expenses. After you get your per mile, $1.48 plus your fuel, your market adjustment, that's going to leave you with revenue of $1.99. So you take your $1.99 minus your $1.07, that's 92 cents per mile. That comes out to a net of $25.50 a week, $11K a month, or $132,000 a year. And that's on a truck that you're never going to pay for anything. The only thing, just sidebar, you would be responsible for any damage you do to the truck and windshields. We don't pay. But hey, turbo goes out, it's fixed, all under warranty. And while that truck's being fixed, we give you a loaner truck.
Now, Steve, you mentioned about the truck itself. You and let me make sure I understand this. This is not a lease to own.
This is not a lease purchase. This is truly, it's a walk-away lease. Now, at the end of this, we turn these trucks back into our leasing company. We can always set somebody up with that, but what we say is now you're just about to buy a new turbo for yourself. You're going to have a new transmission for yourself. I know some guys are just dead set on owning that piece of equipment at the end, and we do have an avenue for that, but that's not really what this program's for, because we're paying you to drive the truck and paying you all the profit of the truck. We're not paying you to save 10 grand a year for the repairs you're going to do in 2 years. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
That makes plenty of sense. And I'm thinking, like I said, I changed my whole perception when it comes to leasing. And in the beginning, wasn't a fan. Well, I'm still not a fan, but in the beginning, I didn't know much about leasing, and I was just basically going off from what everybody else tell me how they felt about it. But when I got a chance to actually, talk to people that actually did it, some successes, some failures, I just came to the realization from that point on is that leasing is really not for drivers that's coming in just to have a career. Like a career throughout the trucking sphere. And let me clarify what I'm saying on that. And one of why I'm saying that is drivers that want to come in for a career, they come in for the W-2. They come in, they cool with what they get paid every week. They cool for the 401k. They cool for the benefits and all like that. That's what they're looking for. Drivers that's coming into leasing is coming in to make their money fast and then get out. Would you agree with my assessment on that?
Well, I think there's a third person though. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the third person is the one though that sees in reality, truck driving's always been I want to own my truck. I want to be a truck driver. I want to tell myself what to do. Every person that calls me about my lease, just like TJ the Bull, they were asking about being forced dispatches company. Well, that's not forced dispatches, do what the company asks you. But if you don't want to be forced dispatch, you come to Artur Express. We have a load board. We'll let you load yourself. Now I always say,
Okay.
unless you do it right and you know the math, you're not going to load yourself as good as I can. Because trust me, I know how fast the customers want it. I know how quick the loads can be there. But once you get in a rhythm, we have probably 20% of our drivers that are contractors. They book their own freight off of my load board.
All right.
So that's that third person. He wants to be an owner. He wants to say, I'm president of Lockoutmen Trucking. And that's important to some people because you know what? Once you own one truck, that's the first step to owning two trucks. And I always tell people, you get 5 trucks, you don't need to drive a truck no more. You just manage your fleet. And
Okay.
that's but a company driver, that they're looking for the suit and tie job and things of that nature. But if you're going over the road anymore and things of that way, some people like to pull in the truck stop and say, I'm an owner operator. Nobody tells me what to do.
Now, Steve, you just made a good point. After owning 5 trunks, you just need trunks. After owning 5 trucks, you just need the management. How
Yes.
so? Again, that's a great way to look at it. I pulled, I tried to do my homework, and I did my homework. Try to find something about Artur Express, and I couldn't. I just found the one, and this one right here says he gave you guys a 1. He says he's still currently employed, but this one was back in September 2017. So he may or may not still be there. Sometimes you guys gotta, when y'all go and read what drivers have to say about the company, make sure you read when the post was made.
Oh, we do. We look at that, and I tell everybody. I just had a driver last week call me and go, "Hey, I love everything you're telling me. You sound like the guy. You sound like the company, but I read some bad parts on you." And I said, "Well, they're good, the bad, the ugly. You're not going to make everybody happy." I said, "But I can give you some drivers' names that are running what route you want to run." And when it was all said and done, he ended up, calling back and saying, "You know what? I'm thinking that I don't care about those posts. I'm wanting to make my opportunity." We're still going to have issues every day. There's always problems. People always make mistakes. There's always attitude. Somebody fell asleep or somebody did this. But once again, the owners take them very personal when these people bash us because we do work so hard to be positive. But I can tell you this, there's not one review out there in the last 9 years that I can't tell you one way or the other if I eat it or if they can pound sand. Sorry. You know what I mean? But I'm honest with you. I'll tell you, hey, you know what? We didn't do a good job for that guy. And there's a few people that leave, and I tell you, it's our fault. But then there's some people that leave, and I say, thank you. It just made life easier for them. And, we were just a stop on the resume train.
Exactly. And as a matter of fact, being that this is 2017, a lot of stuff had changed ever since then. So it's not even no reason for me to even read it and to get your point on it, because a lot of from 2017 to 2021, I'm sure everything has changed since then to make the company better for the company side and for the driver side. Steve, we talked a lot about you just talked about the lease. We talked about the drivers, what they can expect money wise. Let's talk about the equipment. That's another big thing with the drivers is the equipment. If they get crappy equipment, they're not gonna make no money, no matter how much they're getting paid per mile. If the truck breaks down, or if it keeps breaking down, if it keeps breaking down or is broke down, they still not making no money, even though they're getting breakdown pay, but still they not making no money. So for the drivers that's coming into the company, what are the trucks are they expected to get into?
Right now, we have just a handful, some 2017, 2018 Freightliner Cascadias left, some older Volvos. But right now, we've ordered 100 trucks for this year. So over the next month or two, we'll have at least the 50 new 2019 Freightliner Cascadias. We're getting, I think, 20 the 30 Volvo 760s coming in. And right now, if you come in, we're pretty flexible. Like, I got a guy coming in Monday, and he's like, "What truck you got sitting on the lot?" And I'm just like, "Well, I got this, this, or this." And he goes, "Well," and I said, "No, don't tell me what truck you want. You know what? If you're going to be picky, which is fine, we'll just take you out and let you pick out a truck." You have to remember, all of our trucks are maintained by Penske Leasing. We literally, with our new mega facility we just built, Penske has a 4-bay shop on our property. They only work on our trucks. They only do our trucks. You don't have to bring your trucks to my shop, but if you're coming here for a restart, you're coming here for anything, we can put your truck in the shop. We check them out. Full roadside warranty and maintenance and rental or loaner trucks. If you break down on the road, we had a guy in Colorado about a year ago, and they didn't have a truck for 300 miles. You know what? They towed a truck over to him and got him moving. So we're not buying junk trucks, and we don't mess around with that. We're very adamant about keeping it out. Some people, I got to be honest, some people catch a lemon. The DEF system goes down this week, you get going, you get down the road, the DEF pops up again. Things happen. We had a brand spanking new truck 3 months ago, literally a 2022, had, 100 miles on it. It pulled in the shop. We got it all decal. It shot a major computer error. We had to take it back. So things happen, but once again, we're very proactive to get you to the next better moment. Driver has an issue with a truck and we have a better, newer truck on the lot. We're going to switch them out for it. We are not here to keep people just in junk trucks so they can sit. Sitting, we're all losing, and we all know it. It's no fun for a driver to just be sitting somewhere because you just see his clock going backwards. It's one of those things of, we don't even talk about hours of service. We talk about minutes of service. That's how important a driver's clock is. So when it comes to equipment, the owners, Artur and Tomic, they have put so much time and effort into making sure this program is the best it can be. And with the partnership we have through Penske, I truly believe it is. And nobody's trucks are better maintained than ours. Not saying they don't have some issues, but it's just can't be maintained any better because we have the people in the building, and there's 1,000 Penske shops around the country. So it's not like, you got to have some sideways warranty through Joe's trucking company. You got to make it back over to Indianapolis to get it fixed. We can get your truck fixed anywhere in the country, and we have service programs and protocols everywhere. So that's our commitment. That's why we tell you on this walkaway lease, you can get a 2019 to start out, pay 29 cents a mile for it. And if after a month or two, you're like, hey, I'm getting killer miles, I'm making unbelievable money, but I like a little newer truck. Well, you know what? Turn that truck in, get you a 2022 and pay a couple pennies more, but now you're rolling in a brand spanking new truck.
What are the amenities in the truck?
Ooh.
Airbone?
No. They got everything. They got all the bells and whistles in them, APUs, heaters, everything. I mean, these trucks are set up for the driver to be comfortable and successful. We actually just had one of our teams call me up and say, hey, we love the trucks. We're going to get a new one, but is there any way we can get rid of the top bunk? The top bunk is not effective for us. We'd rather get rid of the bunk and maybe put some cabinets so we got a little more headspace. I sent it to the owner literally on a Saturday, and by Monday morning, he's like, I already called Penske. They're going to work up a new quote. We might retrofit a couple trucks for you. So it's really, now, some drivers don't like some of the safety features and that, but that's just the way the industry's going because of insurance. And if you can't afford insurance, then there'll be 800 Artur Express drivers that don't have jobs. So those things you have to live with. But other than that, we have full service. All the trucks are clean. Even when we swap out a truck, we make sure we notate everything about the truck. Was it a smoker? Was it a pet? We professionally sanitize. And when a guy called me this week, goes, hey, I got tons of allergies. I go, hey, perfect. You definitely can't be in a past smoking truck or a dog truck. We'll put you in what we call a fresh truck. So we look at all of those avenues to make sure that the experience is better.
Speaking of pets, man, nice dog in the background. Look like he's out.
Yeah, she's that's my protection right there. So she is wherever I go, she is with me all the time. My wife's like, you want me to take her out of here? I said she'll just sit at the door and just wag her tail until she can come in. So
what kind of breed is she?
That is a Presa Canario. It's a breed from the Spanish Canary Islands. Presa Canario. If you look up realpresa.com, that's my breeder, and this dog here has probably done about $100,000 worth of puppies. She's
wow.
She's definitely a top breeder.
Oh, well, look like she's at attention now. She hears somebody.
Yeah, we live on a farm and there's always noises and stuff. So she's on cue. Let me tell you, she's no joke. She
Okay.
she she looks like she's sleeping, but she's always thinking about biting somebody. No, I'm teasing.
Steve, I want to thank you for coming on, giving us your time and all like that. I really do appreciate it. With the company, man, a lot, a lot of other, a lot of other questions. If you guys have more questions, we will get to how to get in contact with Steve and everything in a moment. What is you guys turnover rate, man? I mean, you sitting telling us all the good stuff and everything, but as you said, not everybody is going to be happy. So what is your turnover rate? If
Uh, it's not as good as we'd like it to be from 2020. We were on probably a 60-75% turnover rate before we got hit with COVID because we just kept everyone. But I would say now we're probably closer to about 90%. But we get dinged a little bit hard on that because we do have those independent contractors, so they can put a truck on with me and then pull my load, and then they can go jump somebody else and pull another load. So it kind of skews me a little bit. But I would say through our company drivers and the owner operator program, we are under 80%. And also another thing I like to tell drivers is like our empty miles. A lot of people always worry about empty miles, and I said we're under 7% empty miles, and we have a huge local division, and they eat up probably 3% of it comes from them. I have teams doing 26,000 miles a month. They're under 4% empty miles.
all right, all right. All right, JK stepped in the building. Thank you very much. He said, "What's the gentleman's name again?" His name is Steve. He says he got it. Thank you for stepping up in here. JK also wants to know how much experience does Arthur require. I believe it's 18, but I'll let Steve explain.
18 months is what we're looking for, with a clean record. But we are offering a little bit of a training assistant program that, if you got at least 1 year or more, depending on your location and what you're looking to do, we have some opportunities. Once again, if you're going to call yourself, the truckers company, the best second chance company, you have to help people out. And if you got a year and you've been driving somewhere that year, not a year of experience and you've driven at 7 companies, but you give somebody a chance, you're trying to learn, you want to be a truck driver, like you said, get under that company banner for a minute, then maybe get to the owner operator status. You got 18 months, you're going to get in the truck with me. Anything under that, we have opportunities for those drivers.
Now, what about now? Of course, you said 18 months. So, of course, you guys is not looking for drivers that's coming directly out of school.
Yes, but then again, though, we do also, I have some drivers that can come directly out of school. Once again, if you want to get in the truck and take off and go down the road and not have somebody in the truck with you or anything, you need to have at least a year. But if you have less than a year, let's say I'm actually working with a driver probably about 60 miles from our location, just got out of school, wanting a job. So what we're going to do with him is we're going to give him a 4 week training program. He's going to ride with somebody a week, drive with that person a week locally. Then we're going to put him in there again for another week with a person doing out regional, but home every night, and then let him drive. So that'd be 4 weeks of that, and then we're going to give him we'll give him 5 months of some local work, some regional work, and some over the road work. So after 6 months, he would go up to the professional pay level, and we could build him up from there. And we've done that with a few drivers. It's just not that we can say we have that bulk mass training program. We can do a lot of things with drivers. Just depends where they live and what they want to do.
Okay, okay. Now, as far as now, since you mentioned that with the training and everything, and of course, you say you do have females drivers there. What do you guys have for the females as far as training? Would they be able to train with a female, or would it be male?
Oh, absolutely. That's like our team program. We don't build teams. I request a lot through the fleet. Anybody want to team up? You might find a couple people that might work. Most people don't, but we do. But with female training, we would only put them with another female driver. We have 6 or 7 local company drivers alone, and that's always a great start there. Real good women that have been driving a long time.
All right, all right. Well, Steve, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Lockout man.
All
Appreciate you
right,
today.
all right. Arthur Express, everybody. This is their website. Steve,
That's a
let
beautiful building. Sorry, that's a beautiful building.
I see right here. As a matter of fact, I think I drove past that one time. I mean, it's an awesome state of the art building right there. And as again, like I said, as far as your website goes, this is one of the nicest websites
And,
that I have seen.
and if I could toot my horn on one thing that they let me do every year at Arthur Express, it just really, I mean, it brings tears to my eyes. Is every year in September you have National Trucker Appreciation Week, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they let me in March have an entire month. We call it National Trucker Appreciation Month at Arthur Express. We give away drawings every day. At the end of the month, I do a 2-day cookout. Every drivers come in. We had on the first day about 80 drivers, about 60 the next day. Served about 500 plates of food for drivers that come in around the country. It's just all part of what I do. Like I said, I do a fleet call weekly where drivers can call in like this, but they're live. They get to talk to me. They get to ask other drivers questions. They learn. So what they let me do here at Arthur Express is truly something unique. Most people probably wouldn't even let me in their door, but Tom and Arthur saw value, and I think I give them that value just by I'm the guy that opens that front door with a hug and a smile, and I keep the back door shut with a frown on my face. So that's really one thing I want to thank them for, is always giving me that opportunity, because I say that my job isn't just to put miles under drivers. I like to change lives, transform communities, one trucker at a time. That's really what the good Lord put me on the earth for.
All right. I see you guys are recognized in a lot of awards right here. Going over what you guys can offer for drivers. Stop pay $25. New York pay $150. And this is your route, your regionals, your Western region, Central, Eastern, OTR reefer, OTR van. And you said this right here. I believe you said something about that. This has changed, or is this,
No, that is the performance pay
okay.
plan, and that's where those are the grades. And I think he was just using the points, but those points, you could be a zero, but every driver starts out as a pro. The only way you ever get down into basic is if you have some safety issue, and that's just a fair way to be. But everybody else in our company, we can pay you 50 cents, 60 cents, 70. Other places they want to pay you 50 because they see it as a 20 cent profit. We want to pay you that 70 cents because we figure if you're making that based on your numbers and being that performance driver, you're going to save us money. So that's why we want to pay every driver the most amount of money. We really find it is better for the bottom line.
All right. ArthurExpress.com. You can also, everything you need to know about getting in contact with Steve will be in the description below. I'll let Steve tell the rest of you guys how other ways you can get in contact with him. Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, Steve Green at Arthur Express. So it's Steve G, ArthurExpress.com. Also, my phone number is 314-714-3400. My extension's 3377. Always available, always taking calls. Before I even got on here, we were talking to a couple drivers from the house today. So, like I said, I'm truly that person that can give you a smile driving a truck down the road. This company can put a smile on your face and in your heart. And, if you want to be a safe, good driver and not have to look for another job or get into another recruiting class, this is what we do. We move trucks. We move trucks. We move drivers.
Say we move trucks and we move drivers. Arthur Express, located in Hazelwood, Missouri. Arthur Express Inc. If you guys want to give them a call, their phone number is 314-714-3400. Give them a call. Probably get a hold of Steve. If not, I'm sure Steve have a great recruiting base there that can answer all of your questions. Again, Steve, thank you for being on the show today. I really do appreciate it. And if you hold on for a second, I'm about to go ahead and end the segment. Everybody, thank you for watching the Lockoutmen podcast show. Thank you for being here. If you guys are interested in Arthur Express, share the video. Somebody might be interested, probably might be going through something, or probably might want to come on at 60 cents a mile. Not too many companies these days is offering 60 cents a mile. I'm just saying, or at least not offering 60 cents a mile without some other incentives added in. I'm just saying.
That's why we're the truckers company. We're not here showing. We're not sleight of hand. Here's what we pay. Go make the miles. You're gonna make it. Artur Express, the truckers company, for a reason.
All right, everybody. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you like content like this and more, hit me up. Show that like, share. All you got to do is subscribe. All you got to do is hit that like button. Shout out to Trucker Brown for for acknowledging. He said my name wrong, but it's good though, because I beat his name up too, but that's good. But shout out to him for acknowledging Lockoutmen Podcast. I really do appreciate that. And again, I appreciate you guys for watching and listening. TJ Jones the Bull, thank you for the super chat. And until next time, everybody, y'all take it easy. And me and Steve are gone.